Good evening, and welcome to our Tuesday, March 19th, 2019 Piqua City Commission meeting. Let us stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have our roll call, please?
Mayor Hines.
Here.
Commissioner Vogt.
Here.
Commissioner Martin.
Here.
Commissioner Lee.
Here.
Commissioner Short.
Here.
Okay, and the next thing we have on our agenda are any announcements. Do we have any announcements from the public this evening? If not, we will move to the next item, which is a presentation.
Go ahead and read it.
It's a presentation from the Upper Valley Medical Center, Mr. Tom Parker, President, and Mr. Steve Staley, the Chairman of the UVMC Board of Directors.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, council members. I'm Tom Parker, President of Upper Valley Medical Center. I'm joined this evening by Steve Staley, the Chair of the Upper Valley Medical Center Board. And I'm here on behalf of the hospital and Premier Health to acknowledge the opportunity that we have been provided to partner with the City of Piqua in the development of the Lock 9 Park project. We are quite impressed with the plan that has been developed and certainly want to demonstrate our commitment to working with the city in this project. Sponsorships like this create an opportunity to demonstrate our commitment to the growth and vitality of all of our communities in Miami County. And our mission being that of building strong and healthy communities, we also recognize that the economic vitality of communities is part of that, as is quality of life. We've had a long history in Miami County of serving all of the surrounding communities, and this is a demonstration where we come together with like-minded organizations in order to enhance the community. As the county's largest employer, we're committed to doing our part and to contribute to the good of the community, the overall good. Our roots date back at Upper Valley greater than 100 years, both in Piqua and throughout Miami County. We take pride in our history of serving the local people and all the residents and the communities. As a healthcare provider, of course, our primary mission is to improve the health of all residents, but we do recognize the quality of life benefits, and certainly the Lock 9 Park project will bring in many residents from the areas, from the surrounding area, and enhance quality and certainly active lifestyles. We thank you for inviting us to be a part of this project. And at this time, I'd like to be joined by Steve Staley, our board chair.
Thank you, Tom. Distinguished panel. I'm Steve Staley, and when Tom talks about having a long history in Miami County, I was born in Piqua. I've lived here all my life. My wife Gail was born in Piqua. She too has lived here all her life. We raised 2 boys. I started my business in 1978. We have deep roots, and we absolutely love Piqua. I believe Lock 9 Park and the project offers an opportunity to truly enhance the lives of Piqua residents and many others throughout the county. The venue is going to be beautiful, overlooking the Great Miami River, and it will offer lots of events, activities, and I suspect a lot of foot traffic, both from the Piqua area and thousands of others visiting and seeing the great job at Lock 9. I applaud the city for the foresight in putting this project together. I also applaud Tom Parker and the administration at UVMC, the administration at Premier Health, and the parent board of UVMC for seeing the benefit of assisting in the development and this Lock 9 project, and for also the opportunity to provide a significant donation to prove our commitment to Piqua and Miami County. I believe Lock 9 Park puts an exclamation point on Piqua. I think we all agree this is a great place to live, work, play, and raise a family. Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, if we could have the mayor join us. We'll have you step right here in between Steve and I. So Mayor, on behalf of Upper Valley Medical Center Premier Health, we'd like to pledge $280,000 for the Lock 9 Park project. Thank you.
Very, very
Thank you,
much
Council.
for believing in our city and our project. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Very generous, thank you. Okay, and now we move to our consent agenda.
We have 7 items on the consent agenda tonight. Number 1 is approval of the minutes from the March 5th, 2019 regular city commission meeting. Number 2 is a resolution reappointing Gene Hill to the Golf Advisory Board for a term expiring March 1st, 2023. Number 3 is a resolution appointing Eric White to the Golf Advisory Board for a term expiring on March 1st, 2023. Number 4 is a resolution appointing Eric White to the Park Board for a term expiring March 4th, 2024. Number 5 is a resolution appointing Randy Simon Siri to the Tree Committee for a term expiring March 3rd, 2023. Number 6 is a resolution of appreciation for the public service of Vincent P. Ashcraft as a city employee for 27 years. And number 7 is a resolution of appreciation for the public service of Mark Spaltman as a member of the Planning Commission for 25 years.
Okay, we have our consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve it?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the consent agenda has passed, and I'm going to move down to the podium so we can make our presentations. And our first one, I'd like to invite Vince Ashcraft to come forward. Do you have any family with you this evening? If they'd like to come forward with you, that would be wonderful as well. I always like to include, please, if there's more family, if you guys could come up, that would be great. Because especially when it comes to those that work in public service, you guys do a lot at home to allow them to do what they do for our city. So we are very, very thankful for the support that you have given him over these many years as well. So here is a resolution of appreciation for the public service of Vincent P. Ashcraft as a city employee. Whereas Vincent P. Ashcraft has retired as Assistant Fire Chief with the City of Piqua, and whereas his retirement follows over 27 years of faithful and dedicated service to the city and its citizens, now therefore be it resolved by the Commission of the City of Piqua, Miami County, all members elected thereto concurring, that in recognition and appreciation of the public service of Vincent P. Ashcraft as Assistant Fire Chief with the City of Piqua, this commission tenders its unanimous and respectful tribute by this resolution, which shall be a matter of public and permanent record. This resolution shall take effect and be enforced from and after its earliest period allowed by law. Thank you so much for your many years here in our city. If you can, if you don't
Oh,
want.
yeah, I could speak, that's great. I just wanted to point out to the commission, you guys might want to catch some Premier guys, they walked off with the check. Thank you, it's been a pleasure serving this community. My family moved here in the 1970s, and we quickly became a part of it. We grew to love Piqua, and it's just been a pleasure. And the guys in the back who are good enough to stand, my brothers in blue, it's been wonderful serving with you. You made a terrific but hard job, over the top, awesome. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, Mark Spoltman, if you want to come forward. I know there you are, saw you come in. And now we have a resolution of appreciation for the public service of Mark Spoltman as a member of the Planning Commission. Whereas Mark Spoltman has served the city of Piqua as a member of the Planning Commission, and whereas the city of Piqua wishes to express its appreciation for Mark's 25 years of service on this board. And now therefore be it resolved by the Commission of the City of Piqua, Miami County, Ohio, all members elected thereto concurring, that in recognition and appreciation of the service rendered by Mark Spoltman as a member of the Planning Commission, this commission tenders its unanimous and respectful tribute by this resolution, which shall be a matter of public and permanent record. This resolution shall take effect and be in force from and after the earliest period allowed by law. Thank you so much for your years with us.
Thank you very much. I'd like to say, Chris, it's been a pleasure working with you for, I don't know if it's the full 25, but it's a bunch of them. I mean, when we both started, we were both young and handsome still.
Still am.
We've seen a lot of things. Well, I said young. We've seen a lot of things happen. The salvation of the hotel was a big one. The linear park, the bike paths, and this wonderful facility. A lot of Planning Commission people are here. Keep up the good work, and thanks again. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we move to our new business. The first is resolution number R-37-19.
A resolution authorizing the lease of city-owned real estate.
I'm going to call on Mr. Smeezing to provide the staff report.
Thank you. The proposed lease will allow for Lock Tenders LLC to operate a restaurant in the 3,578 square feet of tenant space located at 110 West High Street in the Fort Piqua Plaza. The agreed upon terms of the lease are $1,500 per month for 5 years with an option to renew. This is actually the same lease rate that was extended to the previous tenant who occupied the space. The tenant will hold the liquor license and provide the alcohol services in both the restaurant and the Fort Piqua Plaza Banquet Center. Lock Tenders LLC ownership team, which consists of Todd Uhler and Jeff Finkelstein, operate the Basil's on Market restaurants located in Troy, Dayton, and Mason, Ohio. And combined, they have a number of years of experience in the restaurant industry. They also have a established reputation for operating highly successful full-service restaurants that offer chef-inspired food and specialty cocktails in a comfortable setting. Should this lease be approved, they are fully funded. They've received support from Piqua. They are eager to move forward. At this particular location, they'd be operating a bistro-style restaurant, and they would be targeting hours of operation Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Once they're up and running and they've ironed out the kinks, so to speak, their intent is to add some seasonal and holiday brunch type opportunities as well.
Okay, thank you. I do know that I, along with, I think, other people on the commission, I have received, we also have a note up here from one of our citizens, at least 10 to 12 emails about, in support of this, text messages, phone calls, people stopping me on the street. I think our city is pretty excited about this possibility here in our community. Do we have any questions or comments from the commission?
Yeah, did they give you a possible target date of when they might be open?
They're hopeful by June. I think that's pretty ambitious, but that they're eager to move forward and move as quickly as they can.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the, oh, go ahead.
Is the space, it needs renovation or?
Yeah, so as you can imagine, I think we just celebrated the 10-year anniversary of Fort Piqua Plaza. So there's a fair amount of wear and tear on the carpet and some of the other interior finishes, primarily the carpet. So the floor covering all needs to be replaced. Some of the equipment's starting to show its age. So there's a couple features behind the back of bar, coolers that need to be repaired or replaced. And there's an oven that's just lacking in the kitchen. So those items would be improvements by the city as the property owner. And then the tenant would actually be making some additional tenant improvements to add the decor and ambiance that they're looking for in a space.
Is the amount that we're leasing it for reasonable and fair? That's what the previous people paid.
It is the exact same lease rate as the previous tenant without opportunities for deductions that may have been there for the previous tenant. So in essence, it's an increase in a certain sense. It is a fair lease rate. As you look around our community and you look at the square foot lease rates, this is slightly more than $5 a square foot, which is not the high end of the lease rates in the community, but certainly not the low end either. It's where our market is at in terms of square foot lease rates.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments from the commission? Do we have any questions or comments from the public on this resolution? And if so, you can come forward and come to the podium and state your name and your address and where you live. And we're going to keep our comments to about 5 minutes because I think we have a lot of people here tonight. So.
Good evening. My name's Jose Lopez. I'm an attorney from Troy. I'm here on behalf of the Piqua Family Trust. Before I get started speaking about that, this is probably the last opportunity I'm going to have to speak about something wholly unrelated to this. I've been involved in law enforcement for approximately 40 years, and your chief's about ready to retire. And I don't think any of you realize what a great job he's done.
Oh, we know.
He's, I mean, I've had to prosecute policemen. I'm just telling you, this is a fellow, when he gives you his word, it's good. And
That's true.
You're going to lose something. And I want to extend my personal congratulations to you on a successful career and wish you the best in retirement. Now, that having been said, the Piqua family's not here to insult Basil's or Chef Todd. I mean, everybody recognizes he's a good restaurateur. I mean, my goodness, his restaurant's a block from my office. I can't tell you the number of times I've eaten there. But the Piqua family believes that the commission needs to look at its fiduciary obligation to the city. And they've made a proposal, and they've given the proposal today to run these facilities. And we just want to make sure that you folks have done your economic due diligence in making certain that the proposal with Basil's is in the city's best financial interest. The resolution before you clearly gives you the authority to enact it without engaging in competitive bidding based upon a representation from your city manager that it's in the best interest and he's done the investigation. I simply want to point out that no bid awards are sometimes suspect, and you just want to make sure you've done all your due diligence, you've done all the financial analysis about what might turn out better and what is being proposed by the Piqua family. They've got a track record of operating a facility similar to this in Clayton at the Meadowbrook Country Club. They've been there 3 years. And as you can see from their proposal, they believe that they'll generate approximately $200,000 in profit to the city should you undertake their proposal. We'd ask that you examine all of these things, and if necessary, table these resolutions. Give yourself a week to look it over and make sure you've satisfied yourself that this is in the city's best financial interest, consistent with your fiduciary obligation to the citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comment this evening?
Hello, my name is Brandon Vergalito. I'm a real estate investor in the area, also a business owner of a construction company, electrical contracting company. I want to say that we welcome Basil's, or the owners of Basil's, and the Lock Tender Restaurant and the bistro concept that'll be talked about next, or the lunch concept. However, I would like to echo the concern of the lease rate. I disagree with Chris that this is the market rate for this lease, and I think more due diligence should be done. I'm speaking obviously as a guy who owns 319 North Wayne Street, and I know that a $5 lease rate would not be economically feasible for that building, given the size of the space and the Class A nature of the space. I believe it's undersold. And while I really want these things to come to our community, I think understanding what the true lease rate is, and as well as what the improvements are. Typically in real estate, you will add those improvements on top of the base lease rate. So I would be surprised if after some due diligence, that lease rate wouldn't increase from 5 to somewhere around 8 with the improvements. And even just the base lease rate itself is probably low. And why should we care about that? We should care about that because real estate works on comps. So if our market is artificially low because the city is able to absorb that cost as the government, then our private sector has a very challenging time of filling our vacancies at a lease rate that is economically feasible. We have more vacancy downtown. And while, no vacancy is good, having one in there that could potentially lower the market may make it economically unfeasible for other restaurateurs to come into the city in a short amount of time. So if they look at that as saying, hey, it's $5 a square foot there, that's Class A space, why is your Class A space priced so high comparatively? Then we have to get in a discussion of, okay, well, we're a private business, we've got hard costs, this is the rate that basically is slightly above break even. And that's kind of how real estate is for most decisions, is it's slightly above break even. So just think about that. I don't, like I said, wholly support them coming to the community, but I think there is an opportunity there to analyze the lease rate. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Michael Sloan, 9525 Mexstrath. I would like to comment in favor of the city moving forward on this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't know anything about that lease rate in terms of good, bad. I do have confidence in you as a city government of being able to look at it and say, hey, we're not going to lose money on this. In my opinion, the real win-win for the city is the rest of the people downtown that have businesses. There's nothing that will bring people downtown like good restaurants. I would hope that we could get 6 more within the other year because they all thrive off one another and will bring more people downtown for the other businesses downtown. So from my standpoint, I don't see the city as necessarily needing to make a profit. You certainly don't want to lose money, but I have pretty good faith that that's not going to happen, that there's been enough people look at the numbers to be able to say, hey, we can at least make this thing fit for right now. Our real, if you will, purpose is to make it beneficial for all of the rest of the people downtown. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. As I lose my voice, I'm Diana Thompson. I'm with the Miami County Visitors and Convention Bureau. I am also a citizen of Piqua. And I would like to state that I know the folks at Basil's very well. They have a very wonderful reputation, not only in Troy, but in Dayton. And I go there often. But they are very much a part of the fabric of the community of downtown Troy. And I would imagine that they would do the very same thing, which you're looking for, is that unique business and restaurant that makes friends everywhere and will enhance the community, will be a real benefit and partner with the city, and can be called upon at any time that you need them. And I think it would be a great relationship. Personally, over the 14 years that I've lived in Piqua, I found it a bit of a food desert, if you will, or a restaurant desert, that there's not a lot of options for people. And the national brands are the national brands. And they're on the interstate, and that's fine for interstate traffic. But if you want to really bring people into your downtown community, you have to have great shops. You have to have great restaurants. And so I'm always an advocate for that, and it's extremely important. So thank you for listening, and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Dan French, 1127 North Sunset. I just want to speak in terms or in favor of this project. Certainly, it's no secret that the city's been looking for someone to fill the Mulligan space since it went dark on the 1st of January, essentially. And I don't know the whole process that the city went through, but I understand they talked to quite a number of restaurateurs and people to solicit input, and I don't know if they got formal proposals from a lot of people or not, but I know Basil's certainly has an outstanding reputation, and in terms of what we as citizens would like to have occupying that space, you'd like to have somebody who is good at what they were doing. And they've proved that they're good at what they are doing at 3 other locations. I have no reason to believe that they're going to do a lousy job at their 4th. That wouldn't help anybody. So I think the fact that the city has worked with these people and landed them, if you will, I think that's a feather in the city's cap. I don't know what the details of this proposal that just arrived. I'm innately curious about things that arrive at the 24th hour. That's a delaying tactic that's well known. In any case, I think the proposal that, as I understand it, that Mulligan, or rather that Basil's has made to fill the space is a good one. I think the fact that in connection with the space in the restaurant, there's also a lease for a delicatessen nearby. I think the combination of those two is brilliant. As somebody said, Piqua has been looking for better restaurants for a long time, and I think we're on the verge of having one. And I certainly support it and urge you all to move forward positively tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Lorna Swisher, Executive Director of Main Street Piqua, 326 North Main Street. Just want to speak in favor of this. As Mr. Sloan and Ms. Thompson have already pointed out, unique restaurants, unique food opportunities are what draws people into the downtown. I've been working hard for over 20 years to bring life into the downtown with many, many partners, many, many volunteers, and with the amazing support of the city. And I believe that this is a great proposal and would be a huge enhancement for our downtown. Thank you.
Do we have anybody else? Okay. All
Here
right.
comes one more.
Oh, we do. Go ahead.
Sue Peltier, 717 Caldwell Street, Piqua. I'm in favor of the Basils, or I can't remember the name exactly, what they want to call it, but I think I've lived here all my life. I've experienced the Springs. That's one of the last nice restaurants I remember in town being able to go to. My husband and I travel often to Troy, Dayton, to fine dine, if you will, and I think this would be a great asset for our community, and I look forward to them hopefully coming here. Thank you.
Thank you.
I really wasn't going to speak, but there's one thing. My name is Ruth Kuhn, and I live on Park Avenue. There's one thing that we have kind of missed, and that is this reputable restaurant will be providing the liquor service or the alcohol service for the 4th floor. Banquet Center. The Banquet Center is a major proponent, or it's a major component to the Fort Piqua Plaza. So we have a wonderful banquet manager, but now having a very respectful and reputable purveyor of the alcohol for these major events is so important to that building. So this is not, excuse me, this is by no means a trial restaurant. This is a restaurant with a very, very good reputation, many locations. So I think you will probably do the wise thing in bringing this wonderful asset to our community. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's nothing else, I guess I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor of resolution number R-37-19, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, the resolution passes. And now we move to resolution number R-38-19.
A resolution authorizing the lease of city-owned real estate.
Mr. Smeezing.
Thank you. This is the proposed lease for 122 West High Street, and if approved, would allow for Stone Ground Deli Llc to operate a delicatessen in the 1,400 square foot space, also located in Fort Piqua Plaza. The agreed upon terms of the lease are for $750 a month for 5 years with an option to renew. Again, this is the same lease rate as was extended to the previous tenant. Stone Ground Deli LLC ownership team, once again, consists of Todd Uhler and Jeff Finkelstein, the owners of Basil's on Market. They are excited at this opportunity to create a deli experience in addition to the restaurant space, and they think it will be very well received. Their hours of operation initially, they intend to be open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then they'll see how things play out and consider Saturday at a future date. Their intent here is to offer a full, artisan-style deli sandwiches and gourmet sides for dine-in or carry out. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the commission? Any questions or comments from the public on this resolution? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor of resolution number R-38-19 signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, the resolution passes. And now we move to resolution number R-39-19.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into the Capital Improvement Community Park Recreation Conservation Project Pass through grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources for the Piqua Great Miami Trail Bridge Replacement Project.
Ms. Havener will provide the staff report.
Thank you. We were notified late last year of this award. It's for $300,000, and it will be administered through the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. And so what you have before you tonight is the actual grant agreement authorizing the city manager to enter into that agreement with ODNR so we can proceed with the design and ultimate construction of the Great Miami River Recreational Trail Bridge, which will be located in Goodrich Giles Park.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the commission on this resolution?
Yeah, will there still be access on the east side of the river? Will you still be able to go down and pick up the bike path down by the bridge?
By the current bridge?
No, but when building a new one, will you still be able to come down Bridge Street and ride all the way to the bike path?
No. The purpose of doing this is to prevent that from happening. We have a lot of traffic going back and forth through there with our wastewater treatment plant, and I know that was a concern brought up at the public meeting for the wastewater treatment plant superintendent.
However, I just want to clarify that there are fishing spots down there that they would still be able to access.
Okay.
So it would be cut off down more towards the plant because of security reasons.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Any questions or comments from the public on this resolution? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I move we adopt resolution R-39-19.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor of resolution number R-39-19 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, the resolution passes. And now we move to our public comment portion of our meeting. Do we have any public comment this evening?
My name is Joe Wilson, 211 West Green. Over the winter, I was walking downtown with my granddaughter, and we went to the gazebo. She calls it the castle, of course. But so we played hide and seek, and I was able to examine the gazebo a lot from various angles, and there were a lot of areas that need repair. There's some areas that need painted. I think the last time it was painted, the mayor, you weren't mayor then, but the mayor and I organized a group to paint that with some local people. So I think it's time. Now we have a restaurant, we have a deli. It'd be nice if sometime this summer, if we could get the repairs done, get it repainted again, and because we're going to have all these people flocking in, right? So I'd love to see that repainted and trimmed up, and some little nothing, I mean, from a distance it looks fine, but when you play hide and seek, you learn all those little nooks and crannies. So just appreciate it if you could maybe look at that and maybe get it cleaned up, and maybe we could figure it out again. So thanks.
Are you able to hide downtown?
From a 2-year-old grandchild, yes.
You can fool a 2-year-old. I hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Thank you. Is that possible to get that painted this summer, you think?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. All right, any other public comment? If not, we will move to our city manager's report.
Thank you. I want to congratulate Cindy Holtzapfel and her staff in the Finance Department for receiving the Government Finance Officials Award, Association Award of Excellence in Financial Planning for the 28th consecutive year. That's quite an accomplishment. Also, congratulations to our power system for receiving the American Public Power Association Excellence in Reliability Award. I don't know how many times they've won that, but it's nice, still a nice award to receive each year. Also, congratulations to power system employees Kendrick Link and Tyler Martin for completing their 4-year apprenticeship and being promoted to journeyman lineman. Congratulations also to Mayor Hines and Brittany Van Horn for receiving the Ohio City County Management Association's 2019 Citizen Participation Award for the This Hometown Piqua music video. And I do have the award, I just haven't shown it to you. yet, so. Remind everyone that on April the 27th will be our Piqua Community Cleanup Day, and that will be from 8 to 12. This year, we're trying to get individuals, organizations, and groups to not only clean up but do projects, and I think the gazebo project might be one of those that's getting targeted this year that people could help out with. So there'll be a lot of different projects for everyone to participate in. So it's all my report.
Thank you. All right, Commissioner Vogt, do you have anything?
Well, I'd like to wish the best to Vincent Ashcraft and Mark Spaldman. They both dedicated the biggest part of their life to the city, and we thank you both for that. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Commissioner Martin?
I'd like to echo Bill's comments, and that's all I have.
Commissioner Lee?
Well, I'd like to echo the previous two. Vince is a hardworking guy and deserves to join our club of retirement. And Mark, you actually get to do some stuff that your wife wants you to do around the house now. We appreciate all your public service, and thank you very much. What about UVMC? I think that's a big boon for our community. I don't hop on Facebook a lot. I'm on there every once in a while, but a guy on Facebook posted some pictures of that area that they're donating to. It used to be an ice rink, I guess, and you had kids skating there, and this is the early 1900s. I was impressed. 1300s. That's a long time ago. I just think that their donation to our community says a lot about them, and we appreciate what they're doing. I'm excited about the Basil opportunity. Having a deli downtown is something else. So, and besides that, I've got nothing else to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Short?
Okay, I'll try to keep this short. Two things. Last weekend, I had the opportunity to be the celebrity at Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast, and I'm going to tell you what a great time. I had a ball, and what a great organization to work with, and I hope I will put this on record that I'll be more than happy to come back next year and do it again.
Do you eat any pancakes?
Actually, I did not. I did not eat any, I'm sorry. The other thing is obviously we had a really nice warm day the other day, and I noticed the motorcycles were out. It's getting to be that time of year again. I'm a motorcyclist, so is Commissioner Lee. Yep. Just be careful of those people out there and always look twice before you make those turns, just in case they're out there. And I would also like to echo the sentiments on the retirement and of the gentleman earlier. So, and that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. The only thing I have is this past Sunday, despite the weather being a little damp and a little chilly, we had our 5th annual, I believe, beer run that Can't Stop Running, Ryan King and Amanda King put on with the help of Main Street and the Arts Council, and I think the Diagon Alley people from the library or the Harry Potter group were the beer stops, if you will. Despite the weather, I think Ryan had over 550 people actually register, and I think we had probably close to 350, 400 people despite the weather that came down. It was a great event. It was wonderful to see how the community just comes together to pull things like that off. And it's just a reminder that together we are so much stronger than we are apart. So there are so many things that we can do as a city when we come together to do things such as that on Sunday. So thanks to all the hands and hearts that made that event possible, and it's the beginning of our, I always say, the beginning of our festival season as the weather is getting warmer. So we have a lot of good things to look forward to as we move into our summer months. So with that, if there is nothing else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.